Hey everyone, welcome to MJ's Cravings. Yay! So as you can see, I'm not in my usual apron, so I'm not cooking. But I have something to teach you guys. Well, if you want to learn or if you don't know already. So today I'm going to be talking about the cast iron skillet and how you should take care of it, because that seems to be a very trying issue for a lot of people. Even those in my household, not bitter, but we'll talk about that later. So cast iron came into prominence way back when, like maybe before even Moses and them wandered in the desert for 40 years. In 500 BCE is when the Chinese start using cast iron. The Western world was a little bit late to that party and didn't start using it until the 15th century, I do believe, of Common Era when the Reformation happened. And that probably makes sense because no good religious separation is complete without some wars. So they were using cast iron because of its low melting point, which made it easy for it to form into swords and armor and everything. Through all of that came something great. The cast iron skillet. The cast iron skillet has a few enemies. One being the dishwasher, another being just soap in general, and the third being the people that you live with. Enemy number one to my cast iron skillet is my mom and dad. They seem to have this thing about using dish soap to just go to town on this, and it really makes me sad because it forces me to like have to season up. And they've been doing this for so long, and I think that I'm gonna go through years of therapy to deal with it. But I will persevere. So as you hear, my oven just went off. Since my mom did get to my skillet, I figured it'd be a good time for me to show you guys how to season your cast iron skillet and give you the do's and don'ts of taking care of it. First thing you should do is preheat your oven. My oven runs a little bit hot, so I preheated my oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, but you might want to go to 325. It really just depends on your oven. So, you know, get a little familiar with your oven, talk to it, see what it likes, see what it doesn't like, see if it runs high or low, or if it's just, you know, perfect. I know it seems strange, but I talk to my appliances. We're on the name-to-name basis, which actually says a lot about me, so. Anyway, okay, so you're gonna need your favorite type of fat or oil. Anything will really work. I use vegetable oil, canola oil. I've also done it with coconut oil, which was interesting. So the oil or fat that you can use a lard also, is going to create a barrier that is going to stop your cast iron skillet from rusting or decaying, which is a big deal. And what we're going to do is just create a thin layer of this vegetable oil. See? And move that all around. And I know this seems like a lot, but some people only season the bottom of their pan, but no, we want our fat or oil to be all over our pan, so we don't just want to stop rusting at the bottom, we want it to not rust anywhere. So I'm going to take my first paper towel and just get in there and move it all around. Get the sides. And this should be enough to do your whole pan, because remember, you just want a thin layer. And then, now we're gonna go on the outside. Handle and everything. And once you've got a good coating on it, you're now ready to put it in your preheated oven upside down. So it'd be in your best interest to put a cookie sheet or some aluminum foil. That's actually what I did. On the bottom of my oven, I placed some aluminum foil so that when I put this upside down, any of the leftover oil will just fall in that, which makes for easy cleanup, because cleaning the oven is not one of my favorite tasks, and I'm sure it's not yours either. So yeah, we're going to do that, and since we're just seasoning it, it's going to be there for 15 to 20 minutes. So seasoning your cast iron skillet is not super difficult. You're seasoning it in an effort to make sure that it stays non-stick. And so you'll know when you need to re-season your pan when stuff starts to stick to it. So when things start to stick to it, there's a few ways that you can go about trying to clean it before you have to resort to soap and water. One of my favorite ways of doing it is just with some warm water and some kosher salt or sea salt. I guess any type of salt could work. And you just kind of scrub with your hands. You try to like work those things out. If I absolutely cannot do that, that is when I will resort, in those very rare occasions, to using soap and water to break down whatever it is that is stuck to my cast iron skillet. If you remember nothing, you will remember this. You need to dry your cast iron skillet, like right away, because that is the way that rust starts to form. So we need to make sure that it is nice and dry before we store it. I do suggest if you do wash it, especially with soap and water, that you then go through the seasoning process that we just did again. You might need to keep it in the oven for a little bit longer. If you're seasoning it after washing it, instead of keeping it in for 15 to 20 minutes, you might need to go from 40 minutes to an hour. But once again, it's not hard work, it's just the heavy cast iron skillet and seasoning it and getting it in the oven. It's just really the waiting game. I really do love working with my cast iron skillet. I love the fact that I can start something on the stove top and then I can transfer it into my oven. There's just one pot, one skillet, that's all you need. We've gone over seasoning and washing it, so you pretty much have the basics down. Get into the kitchen, start using your cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, invest in one. And remember, if you do nothing else, keep your parents away from it. Cardinal rule. I will see you next time. Please, please, please put a thumbs up if you like this video. If there's anything else you would like me to talk about when it comes to cast iron, whether it be the history of it, which I'm sure I bored you enough with, below. Any questions, comments, concerns, cries of disbelief, anything. Subscribe and check me out on my other platforms, because I would love to get to know you. And yeah.